Good morning, everybody. A very warm welcome to all staff and students attending this session today. I am Professor Bruce Rhodes, the Acting Dean of Teaching and Learning for the College of Law and Management Studies. So I'm an economist, originally from the School of Accounting, Economics and Finance, and it's a pleasure for me to speak to you today as this marks the beginning of a very new, exciting chapter in your lives. It's one filled with opportunities, challenges, personal growth. And as you embark on this journey, I want to take a moment to recognize the sacrifices that you've made to be here, as well as the sacrifices of your parents, your guardians, any sponsors that you have. Their unwavering support has been instrumental in bringing you to this very moment. And it's essential to remember that your success is in a sense a collective action and a collective goal. All the staff you're going to meet over your degree, especially the ones here today, your lecturers, your tutors, mentors, academic development officers, student support services staff, they're all dedicated to helping you achieve your aspirations. And that's what's important to us. We are committed to providing you an enabling environment so you can fulfill your academic and personal ambitions. We want to see you thrive, not just as students, but as well-rounded individuals who are ready to make meaningful contributions to society. Your goals are important to us. We aim to equip you with the knowledge, skills that you need to reach them. It's a unique opportunity. This whole week is a unique opportunity for you to meet some of these dedicated staff members who are here today in this meeting and understand the various forms of support that is available to you. And it's important that you take full advantage of this orientation week. Each day is going to introduce new elements. It's not just today. Each of those elements that you will experience and get a better understanding over the week is all about explaining university life. So make it a point of yourself to connect with your mentors, share your experiences, build a supportive network right from the very beginning, and it starts today. I know that this transition to university life from what you've experienced previously, it can feel exciting, but also rather daunting. Many of you may be feeling nervous about coming to university, and rest assured, that is perfectly normal. In fact, it shows that you care. It shows that you care about your own future, and it shows that you really want to do well. So I don't generally give out advice. I don't ever want to be too prescriptive. But if there is one bit of academic advice I would like to give you today, as a student coming into the university for the very first time, and that advice is to stay up to date with your studies. That, to my mind, is crucial. Attend your classes, participate in tutorials, engage actively in the learning process. These interactions will not only help you retain information because it's face-to-face, but also deepen your understanding of the material. Participate in discussions, ask questions, contribute your own insights and your own experiences. This is where the real learning happens. Remember that while you might have access to some recorded lectures and materials, which are usually available on your Learn platform on each and every module, they can be useful, but they should only serve you as a backup. Your primary resources are your walking, talking lecturers and tutors. They're there to guide you. Don't hesitate to reach out to them. Building relationships with your instructors will provide valuable insights and mentorship. So above all, understand that you are ultimately responsible for your own work, your engagement and your success. Embrace this responsibility. It's empowering. You have the ability to shape your own education experience and ultimately your own future, which is why you've come to university. Don't be afraid to take the initiative. Set goals for yourself, short-term and long-term. Break them down into manageable tasks. Track your progress. Be your own worst critic. This, if I can call it a proactive approach, will not only keep you focused, it'll help build your own confidence. And you can achieve certain milestones along the way, not just at first, second, third, but every semester, every month. And also remembering university life is not just about academic achievement. Sure, it's the main reason you're here, but it's also about your own personal growth and self-discovery. It's a time for you to learn about who you are, what you want to become. You're going to meet loyal friends. You're going to make connections that may last a lifetime. Cherish them, cherish these relationships, as they will contribute greatly to your university experience overall. Engage in social activities, join clubs, participate in events that link with your interests. These interactions will help you build a supportive community that actually enhances your university journey. As you navigate this new environment, remember you're not alone. Lean on your peers, engage with your mentors, take advantage of all the resources that we will make available to you today, over this week, and explain to you how it all works. It offers various support services, counselling, academic advising, workshops, all designed to help you succeed. Use them, they're here for you. Additionally, consider developing routines that balance your academic responsibilities with self-care, leisure activities, sports and hobbies. And it's this balance which is going to be essential for maintaining your own mental well-being throughout your years that you are with us. And lastly, keep in mind that the journey ahead is going to have its ups and downs. Challenges, it's all part of growth. And how you respond to them will define your experience. Approach any setbacks as opportunities to learn and adapt, to pivot, to move maybe in a slightly different direction, but still moving forward. Stay resilient, stay open-minded. These traits will serve you well, not just at university, but in life generally. So let me just conclude by welcoming you to this incredible journey. And I wish you all the best as you embark on this exciting adventure. Remember, your time here is what you make of it. And I invite you warmly, with open arms, seize every opportunity that comes your way. Thank you very much. Now, before I end, I'm just going to introduce you to a few of the members of the team of the Teaching and Learning Unit and some of the people that you will come across as part of those services which I mentioned earlier. We have Professor Anna Bengasai. She is the director of our Teaching and Learning Unit. We have Ms. Prim Naidu. She is our academic support and academic monitoring and support coordinator. We have Ms. Ishara Maharaj. She is our student support services manager. We also have Dr. Joseph Jer. He is the foundation coordinator on the Peter Maritzburg campus. We also have with us Bongeka Mayenda. She is our current first year experience coordinator. And we also have Loisi Sangalela who is the FYE administrator. So these people are here to help you in some of the things I've mentioned in my brief introduction. And thank you for listening to me. I'm now going to hand over to the director of the Teaching and Learning Unit, Professor Anna Bengasai. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Prof. Good morning, students. Good morning, colleagues. Welcome to our College of Law and Management Studies. We are excited to have you here. We have been receiving some of your emails, and we understand that, this transition from high school to university is not easy. So that's why we are here to support you. And I'm going to talk briefly about one of the programs that we have to support you. I see some of you have been asking questions about mentors in the chat section. I hope this presentation is going to answer some of your questions. Hey, so because we understand that, students, it's not easy to move from high school to university. There are a lot of challenges that you are going to experience. You're used to being in a class with 20, 30 students, maybe 40 students, and now all of a sudden you are in a class with maybe 200 students in a program with 1,000 students. You know, there is a lot of self-directed learning. There are so many changes and it can be overwhelming. For some of you, it's the first time that you are far away from your parents, far away from home. So how do you navigate all of these changes? The first year experience is there to actually support you in that. But in order for me to explain where the first year experience fits in the UKZN program, I'll start with our vision and mission as UKZN. You know, our vision as an institution is to be a university of, you know, African premier scholarship. So it basically means that we are committed to excellence. We are committed to supporting our students from our communities. And it also means that as an institution, we are also committed to community engagement. We do have our values, which I'm sure most of you have come across if you have accessed our website, what we call our rich values. Please go through these values because this is what frames what UKZN is. And as a UKZN student, we also expect you to, you know, embrace these values, and also that in everything that you're going to do, you're also going to show that you also, you know, align with these values. The first year experience program, you know, is mainly meant to support our students. We cannot expect excellence without supporting our students. So this program has got 3 modes. We have the onboarding, which you are currently, which the orientation is actually part of. We also have the, you know, extended orientation, which I will speak to, and then we have the mentorship program. Okay, so as I said, our vision is to be the premier university of African scholarship, and our mission is to be a truly South African university of choice that is academically excellent, innovative in research, entrepreneurial, and critically engaged with society. And our values, I don't know, can you see my screen?
We could do, yes.
Oh, okay. So our values, our rich values, they include respect, excellence, accountability, client orientation, honesty, and trust. All staff and students are expected to align with these values. So we aim to establish a value-driven organizational culture that empowers the institution and its people to achieve our goals. Okay, I'm not going to go into this. And as the teaching and learning unit, our vision, which is aligned to the institutional vision, is to support the holistic development of students in a stimulating, challenging, and nurturing environment, and to provide you with, you know, training that is evidence-based, engendered in critical thinking, and provided by staff that embrace diversity, professionalism, and technological innovation. That is what we aim to achieve. And the first year experience is just one of the programs that helps us achieve this. So let's talk about your journey and how the first year experience fits in. So most of you have already accepted your offer. And once you accept your offer, we take you to be a UKZN student. After you've accepted your offer, we then go through an onboarding program, right? Where some of you might have already received communication from your mentors. You have received a welcome message. We sent out 3 messages, welcome you to the institution, informing you about the first year experience program, informing you about the mentorship program, right? After that, then you have received maybe an email, you know, where you have been allocated your actual mentor. You have already been engaging with your mentors via WhatsApp groups. You might find that some of you at this stage might not yet have been allocated a mentor, or the mentor has not reached out because you probably registered on Thursday, Friday. So you'll probably be receiving an email or communication from your mentor now, today. Because remember, after registration, we have to wait for the system to update all students who are registered. Once we get the list, the updated registered students, then we allocate. So allocation is not done in real time, but is done in batches, maybe after 2 to 3 days of students we have registered. On Saturday, we had the Parents' Day, which was hosted by the university, and it was online, where we spoke to your parents, and we also explained to them some of the services that are offered in the institution and how we are going to support you. In addition to that, we have this 1-week orientation, which is compulsory for you to attend all the days, because each day we're going to be covering a different topic. And after that, then from the 10th of February, your lectures start, right? You're going to be interacting with your academics. You're going to be interacting with your academic development officers. Ms. Prim Naidu, who is going to present after me, will explain more on what ADOs offer. And then you also are expected from the 10th of February to start the first year experience online course, which has got 4 units. I'm going to speak about those 4 units. And then, lectures continue. There's a lot of support, writing plays, student support services. And then at the end of the semester, you write the exam. So as you can see, at each and every point in your academic journey, there is some support that you will be receiving from the first year experience program and all the other services that we offer. So our engagement strategy in the first year experience program is, at the time of accepting the offer, we reach out to the students. All of you have received SMSs welcoming to the institution, and also providing you with links of where to find some of the services, right? We also endeavor to allocate our mentors early as is possible. Like I said, we use a batch processing approach, where we only allocate mentors at the end of maybe, say, 2 days or 3 days after students have registered. So you find that we might be a day or two behind your registration date. And we also adopt various tools to engage students: SMS, social media platforms, the FYE mentorship, and all students will be provided with data for 1 month on acceptance of offer. The data that you are provided with is to enable you to register, to enable you to access some of these resources, and also to enable you to access the orientation program. And like I said as well, this data allocation does not happen in real time. So what it means is that if you registered on Friday, you might not have received your data, right? So you might be receiving it sometime this week. So always remember that these things are not happening in real time, but they are happening in batches, because we have to wait for a certain number of students, and then we process the data allocation as well. On Thursday, we're going to have a session where we're going to talk in more detail about data allocation as well. So our first year experience program is structured as this. Like I said, we do have the onboarding, the pre-registration, where you receive the welcome pack, the WhatsApp groups, and then you're allocated a mentor. Then we have the orientation week, which is happening this week. And then after that, from the 10th of February to the 28th of February, we expect you to complete Unit 1 of the first year experience program during this period. And the reason is simple: most of the information that is in this unit is information that you need at the beginning of the semester or at the beginning of your academic year. Completing it later might not really be useful, because you will have already missed out on important information, right? And then from the 3rd of March to the 24th of May, we expect you to complete Unit 2. And then in semester 2, we have Unit 3 and Unit 4 of the FYE program. Unit 1 focuses on transition, adjustment, and integration to the university. So that's why we encourage you to complete it in the first 3 weeks, because you need that information at that time. You need to know what are the rules for my program. You need to know, for instance, what are the policies in this institution that I have to abide by? What are the registration rules? When is, registration deadline? When can I, maybe withdraw from modules and so on, right? Where do I find these resources? Where is the library? Where are the lectures? You need this information as early as possible. So we encourage you to complete Unit 1 in the first 3 weeks of lectures. Unit 2 focuses on academic skills development. Goal setting. What are your goals as a student? What do you hope to achieve, right? And how we actually facilitate this unit is you work closely with your mentors. They become your accountability buddies. You have set up your timetable, right? Are you able to, maintain or keep up with what you have set up for yourself? Where are your challenges? What are your challenges? Your goals? Are you on track to achieve your goals, right? Study methods, maybe not taking. How are you taking notes for this particular module? Is it the most appropriate or optimal way of taking notes for this particular module? Is there another way of doing it, right? What is the plagiarism policy? You've got a written assignment. Where do I get support for my written assignments? So that's what Unit 2 basically focuses on. And then we have Unit 3, which focuses on student wellness, global citizenship, and sustainability awareness. Here we're going to focus on different topics from gender-based violence, to how do you handle stress? How do you handle even exam stress, relationships? So we're going to focus on all of these issues that affect students as well. And then Unit 4 focuses on financial literacy. Most of you are going to receive, bursaries. They're going to receive NSFAS funding, allowances from family. How do you manage that such that by the end of the semester, you still have money? You're not going to use your entire allowance in the first week or second week of lectures. So this is basically, in a nutshell, how the first year experience program is structured. Okay, so in terms of the actual topics, in Unit 1, we have digital literacy, which introduces you to, basically, how to access your logins, some of the things we're gonna start talking about now, your passwords, your email, and so on. We also have how do you access your lecture timetable. We're going to have a presentation on Thursday on the lecture timetable, but you might forget. So you can go back to Unit 1 and it will have all the information that you need on how to access the lecture timetable. Introduction to UKZN. What are our values as UKZN? What is our mission as UKZN? It also introduces you to, okay, what are some of the rules that you need to abide by as a student, right? Because you might find that if you do not know the rules, at the end of the day, you might find that you have not met the requirements for awarding of that particular degree. So you need to read that. And tomorrow we're going to focus on the handbook. My advice is please do attend, because we're going to talk about the rules that apply to your specific degrees. We're also going to talk about the rules that apply to that are general in the university. And you need to know those. When are the registration deadlines? For instance, what is a special exam? What does it mean to write a supplementary exam, right? What are the progression requirements? In order for me to move from first year to second year, how many credits do I need? So we will cover all of that in those. And then policies, procedures, and rules. What is the policy on the use of artificial intelligence? Can I just use ChatGPT to write my assignments? If I do that, what's going to happen to me? So we will talk about all of these. What are the rules in terms of, plagiarism, for instance? So we talk about all these policies, procedures, and rules. And like I said, we're also going to cover the college handbook. So this is in a nutshell what we find in Unit 1. Unit 2, like I said, goal setting, learning styles, time management, effective note taking. How do you take notes? The way you're going to take notes for accounting 101 is most likely going to be different from the way you take notes for management 120, because these are two different modules with two different forms of knowledge. So you cannot take notes in the same way. So you need to learn about the different ways of taking notes, and also you need to know the style of taking notes that works the best for you. We're also going to talk about study skills, academic writing, and like I said, plagiarism. Okay, Unit 3, there is personal and professional development, and then there's global citizenship and sustainability awareness. We're going to talk about, transition and adjustment, mental health issues, healthy relationships, diversity, bullying, and so on. And we're also going to talk about civic responsibility awareness, cultural competencies, values for service, and community engagement. In addition to Unit 3, I also want to mention at this stage, there is another module that you are also expected to take as students, which is called the Critical Social Justice module, right? It also, in a way, covers some of these issues, but it's also another compulsory module that you have to complete. And I'll talk about it more towards the end of my presentation. And then Unit 4 is on financial literacy, right? Savings and investment, how can you save? Financial decision making, just basic financial literacy. How do you manage your money, income and budgeting, and so on? Right, and in terms of delivery, how is the first year experience program delivered? Generally, there are 3 modes. The first mode is the mentorship, where you interact with your mentors, your big brothers, big sisters on the WhatsApp groups. That is the first approach, which some of you have already been introduced to if you were registered a little bit earlier, right? And then the second mode is the online course, which you are all expected to complete, right? And then the third mode is the seminars. So we also have seminars. Our seminars, they vary. Some are based on need. For instance, if mentors tell us that students, they are, asking a lot of questions about this, we might have seminars on that. But we also have seminars that are already scheduled, right, where we cover different topics. But some of them, they will be based on needs. So please do speak to your mentors. If there's something that you feel you need, tell your mentors, then they can tell us, and then we can have different activities or different seminars to address those. So we will use a blended learning approach, where we use WhatsApp mainly for the mentorship. We also will use Zoom and MS Teams for our seminars. And then we have the online interactive digital content, which is the first year experience course, which you find on what is called the Learning Management System or Moodle site, or it's called Learn. It will be Learn 2025 for this year. Okay. Now, there is a rule called BR10, right? This rule states that all students must complete the non-credit bearing components of the first year experience program during their first year or within their first year at the university to earn a bachelor's degree. So what this means is by end of this year, you must have completed your first year experience online course. And we're going to try by all means to keep you on schedule. Like I said, from the 10th of February to the 28th of February, we expect you to complete Unit 1. From then, the beginning of March to the end of the semester, we expect you to complete Unit 2. And if you follow this structured program, you will not have problems. However, if you leave it until the end, and most of you are going to realize that if you leave it until the end, there's going to be exams, there's going to be so many other competing things, it will become very difficult for you. But if you do not complete, this is what I want you to really understand, that if you do not complete this course, it means even if you complete all your other modules, you will not be degree complete. That's how important this program is. And the way we have structured it is such that the information or the content that you really need at the beginning of your academic career is also completed at the beginning, right? So if you leave it until the end, you will just complete just to tick a box, but you might find that you do not really benefit from it because, the information is no longer necessary at that point. So please, I want to emphasize this. Those of you who are already registered, you will get the link. You'll be enrolled automatically on the FYE course. You'll get the link on how to access it. Your mentors, your big brothers, big sisters, they will take you the process. If you're having any challenges accessing the site, they will take you through the process to assist you. If you have any problems with completion of tasks, if you have any problems on the, please do not hesitate to contact us. Do not wait until late or until we start sending you reminders to say, oh, why haven't you completed this particular unit? So you might find, for instance, that when you go to this activity, you are struggling, maybe say with uploading something, then contact us. We can then assist you with uploading that. But please make sure that you complete the first year experience course. The BR10 rule, which we're going to talk about tomorrow, in more detail when we focus on the handbook, means that if you do not complete this course, it means you have not, you do not earn your bachelor's degree. You have not completed your bachelor's degree. You've got something outstanding. In addition to that, let me also mention the BR11 rule, which also is a rule which says you need to complete the critical social justice module. At least the advantage of the social justice module is you don't have to complete it in the first year. You can spread it. You can do it either in the first semester of the first year, in the second semester of the first year, or you can do it in your second year, right? But you still also need to complete it by the time you finish your degree. So these two rules, BR10, BR11, there are so many other rules, like we've got the rule for, isiZulu and so on. We're going to talk about them tomorrow, but I want to emphasize these two particular rules. So when we leave this, always remember this, the first year experience online course, the critical social justice course that you need to complete in order for you to be degree complete. All right, I'm going to end here and I will take any questions or comments on the first year experience program. All right, any questions?
And there's a few questions in the question and answer box regarding FYEP. So one question is, when are we going to get the link to FYP?
So in terms of the FYE link, we will send it out to all mentors, and you will get an invitation via your student email as well. Because remember, I said all students are going to be automatically enrolled into the program once you are registered. So you will get an invitation via your your UKZN email. So which means you need to have your login, but we will also communicate via the mentors. They'll send it in the WhatsApp groups.
And there's also a few questions about the mentors not contacting students yet, but I think you've covered that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I see someone says I registered in January, but have not received a mentor. What I'm going to advise is I'm going to put my email address in the chat section right now. So if you have not received a mentor, please do send me an email and then I'll follow up on that. So please, if you are registered, you registered maybe say early last week or the week before, and you have not received your mentor, please send me an email. I've just put my email address in the, I think I had sent it to the panelists alone. So I've just put my email address in the chat section. Please send me an email and then I'll follow up on that. Some are asking about how do we get, the login details, password for email. Dr. Jera will speak about that briefly in this session, but on Thursday, like I said, we're going to have a session where we just focus on everything ICS, emails, logins, passwords, and so on. But for today, Dr. Jera will just talk about that briefly. Okay. Oh, okay. And maybe Bongeka, since you are here, you can also maybe speak to the issue of mentors in the allocation. Bongeka.
Thank you, Prof. Yes, your mentors will be sending you guys an email, but please check your personal emails, the ones that you use when you were registering, because most mentors have sent you guys an email to join the WhatsApp group, or you can be assisted via email. But also, if you have not received a mentor and you need assistance, you can also send me an email. I'll make sure that you get a mentor by the end of today.
Okay, so Bongeka, can you also put your email address in the chat section so that students have the details? All right, I don't know, are there any other questions? I see there's a hand. Nasira, do you want to ask?
Prof, can I kindly request that we take all people who want to raise questions towards the end of the session?
All right, okay. All right, so I'll end here and then I'll hand over to Ms. Naidu. Prim, over to you.
Thanks, Anna. Thank you so much. Good morning, students. I'm waiting for Ayanda to please just do the screen share of ways to achieve success in your studies. Students, if I am disconnected, which happens, with our connectivity issues, especially after load shedding, Dr. Joseph Jerry will continue while I try to reconnect. So if I disconnect, Dr. Jerry will continue. If both of us get disconnected, no fear, I've downloaded, or rather I've put in the chat box, all the documents for you to review. Thanks, Ayanda, I see it up. Thank you so much. So I've put all the documents that you need to review. It's in the Zoom chat box. I need you to download it, and you can do it now if you can. So even if you are disconnected students, you're able to review it in your free time today. I've also put in our 2025 College of Law and Management Studies Handbook. And if you could also download that as well, and you can obviously view all these documents and the handbook offline. So try and do it now while you have data. And so you can review all of that offline. And I'll tell you tomorrow, I will talk very briefly about the handbook, but you can just, at least I know you've got it downloaded, and you could try and find, I've got a piece of homework for you today, try and find your degree program. So what do I mean by a degree program in the handbook for today for homework? If you're a Bachelor of Commerce Accounting student, try and find it. It's usually 3 pages. Review those 3 pages. If you're a Bachelor of Commerce General student, try and find it in the handbook today as homework and review those 3 pages. So become familiar with your degrees. If you are an LLB student, a law student, find those 3 to 4 pages, only 3 to 4 pages. You don't need to look at the nearly, I think, 100 and somewhat pages. Find those 3 to 4 pages and review your curriculum. Those are your courses, those are your modules, those are your subjects as you used to from matric. So that's your homework for today. Okay, I've given you your homework. Right, let's get into what I'm trying to present. My name is Ms. Prim Naidu. As Prof. Rhodes highlighted earlier, I'm the Academic Monitoring and Support Coordinator for the College of Law and Management Studies. And part of my role is to ensure that students are successful from day one at this university, in this college, and for your degree program that you've been registered for. Now, as you can see on the screen in front of you, you've got a title, Academic Support Program in the College of Law and Management Studies. That's the acronym CLMS. Ways in which to achieve success in your studies. I won't be spending too much of time on every single point because you are able to review it. You will see me tomorrow. So if you're finding any of these documents troubling or worrying and then you have questions about it tomorrow, I am here tomorrow. You can question me tomorrow. Put it in the chat box now. If you have a question, that's fine. I'll try and answer it today. If not, you need time to review these documents. you can ask me tomorrow, okay? As Anna has highlighted, although I've given you homework to find your curriculum, 3 to 4 pages in the handbook, it's a little game, take it as a game of a discovery. Your academic panel will be discussing in detail on Wednesday your curriculum. So at least become familiar with your curriculum today, and on Wednesday you can ask lots of questions to the academic lecturers, academic leaders who will discuss your curriculum Wednesday morning, 10 to 12. Okay, what is the academic support program in this college, and how does it apply to you as a first-year student? As you can see, number 1, read and summarize the chapter in the textbook before you attend the lecture. Now, some of you will want to know where you're going to find those textbooks and the textbook list. When you start next week, Monday, the 10th of February, for your first lecture, you will see in your course outline is your subject outline. I'm using the old term from matric. So your course is a module in the matriculant lingo. It's called your subject. So in your course outline, your subject outline, your module outline, you will find the list of textbooks, and that will all be available on your Learn website, which Professor Anna highlighted, and you will be told about that from next week, Monday. So all those textbooks will be on your course outlines. Once you get your textbooks, follow the instructions in this guideline, how to be successful at a tertiary institution. You've left primary school, you've left high school, you're now in a tertiary landscape, a tertiary setting, a tertiary environment. And the workload is very different, as Professor Rhodes highlighted. You are moving into higher education, an advanced form of thinking, of reasoning, of questioning, of interrogating, and of criticizing the work and theories that you will be exposed to from first year, second year, and third year. So the academic demands on you is much greater than what you've experienced in your prior 12 years of basic education schooling. You are now in higher education. That is why universities are called higher education institutions. It's called a university because we are trying to expose you to universal information, and hopefully through that universal exposure, you will glean knowledge, and eventually when you do your postgrad studies, it will lead you on to becoming not just an information seeker or a knowledge generator, but even a wisdom generator. Beyond knowledge is wisdom, okay? And that should come in your postgrad studies. Attend all your lectures. Professor Bruce highlighted that. Attend all lectures. You need to take good notes, and Anna highlighted that as well. Note-taking methods are in Unit 2 of your FYE curriculum. There are many note-taking methods. You can also do a Google search online, as you are all digital natives, which means you're used to the online world. There are many note-taking methods. Make use of the note-taking methods, either online or in Unit 2 of your FYE curriculum. And as Anna highlighted, complete the entire 4 units in your FYE curriculum to be degree complete. You have to complete them. Okay. Number 3, attend all tutorials, practicals, and supplemental instruction sessions. And I'm going to highlight and explain to you and unpack what is a lecture, what is a tutorial, what is a practical, and what is an SI session. A lecture is where your professor or your lecturer will be delivering the content to you in your module. So you'll have a module, for example, I'm going to use Economics 101 is a module that most of you seated here today and attending the session will be completing. Okay, most of you. I think the LLB degree, no. So I'm going to use Economics 101 that most first years in this college have to complete as part of their degree program. You attend all your lectures for all your modules. The lecturer will be presenting and professing on the knowledge he or she has gained over many years and decades. Knowledge that has been researched thoroughly, knowledge that is on the forefront of learning and moving your thinking forward. So attend all your lectures and take notes while you are attending those lectures. You have tutorials. Tutorials are application of what you have learned and been exposed to in your lectures when your professor and your lecturer was delivering to you. So you're taking notes in your lectures. You are now attending your tutorials, which are small group teaching and learning sessions where you are listening to a tutor, which is usually a postgraduate student, and you've got work to do in collaboration with each other in applying the lecture content that you learnt. You will apply that in your tutorial. Your practicals in this college is only for the modules, Information Systems and Technology modules, ISTN modules. And Joseph, if we've got time, you can add to ISTN and what the practicals comprise of. But again, just the word practical means you're practically applying the knowledge, the insight, the input, the information you have gleaned from your lectures and your tutorials, and now you're applying it in the practicals for Information Systems and Technology modules, which most of you will be doing. Your SI sessions, they termed supplemental instruction sessions, which means these are study sessions. So how do you study, for example, Economics 101? What are the discipline-specific study skills that is suited to Economics 101? And these are SI sessions hosted by SI leaders, again, postgraduate students like the tutors who have passed Economics 101. They're now doing their honors or their masters or their PhD. They're in postgraduate studies, and they're now facilitating those SI sessions and the tutorial sessions, and they're teaching you in the SI sessions what are the best study techniques, study methods, study approaches that will assist you in passing those modules. So I've discussed and hopefully unpacked lectures through your lecturers, your professors, tutorials through your tutors, postgrad tutors, SI sessions as well, through postgraduate SI leaders on how to study the module. Okay. Now you will find that SI sessions have only been allocated to high impact modules. These are modules that students usually underperform in. So I'm going to use the word that nobody wants, or none of you want me to say it, but I'm going to use the word. The word is called fail. These are modules that students usually fail in their first year of academic studies at UKZN, and in particular in this college. So for example, I'm using Economics 101. There is a failure rate in that module. Accounting 101, there's a failure rate in that module. So what does this mean? Attend your lectures, your tutorials, and your SI sessions to prevent failure. You are being forewarned to be forearmed. Forearmed means, how do I prevent failure? We don't want anyone to fail. We want you all to pass. I see there's 457 of you listening to me. Most likely your parents are also listening in onto this webinar presentation now. None of us, the entire panel, Prof. Rhodes, Prof. Anna, myself, Joseph, none of us want you to fail. But the reality is, because university is very demanding academically, you are going to be stretched and pushed intellectually like you have never been before. So take your studies seriously, buckle down, focus, and self-discipline is the key. I'm not going to go through the rest of this document because you all have it. As I said, you can pop in questions in the text box for me, and I will attempt to answer it. If I can't do it today, I'm here tomorrow. So this rest of the document is self-explanatory, but I'm going to move on, and you can go for me. Thank you, Ayanda, right to the second page, page number 20. If you could just scroll down. Thanks, Ayanda. I'm going to now focus on the student support services as Ayanda is rolling down this document. You'll see point 20, 21, 22, which you've got. Thanks, Ayanda. You can continue scrolling down to the bottom. So student support services. These are our student counselors. They will chat to you in detail on Friday. You have an entire session with them from 10 to 12 on Friday. They're going to discuss all the non-academic factors impacting on some students in this university. If you look at point 21, thank you, Ayanda. Perfect. Thank you so much. If you look at point 21, managing stress. Now, I've put down, sometimes we have basic stress issues. And if it's a basic stress issue, you can jog, you can dance, you can do yoga. That's basic stress. It's manageable. You can cope. However, I've added in, For chronic stress, please consult student support services. You've got the document. It's all there in your chat box. You can see a range of services from personal counseling, which means grief, if somebody, which we don't want to have happen, but it's a reality of life. In case somebody passes in your family and you're unable to cope with their passing, you go to our student counselors to get support for grief counseling. You need to know how to cope with it, because you need to cope with your grief in order for you to be successful at university. It could be somebody in the family maybe who has cancer. And you're also finding it difficult to manage your time. You may be helping somebody at home, managing cancer, and at the same time, you're trying to cope with your academic workload. How do you manage that? You need somebody to speak to. Our student support services are here. They will chat to you in detail on Friday, and you've got all the links in the document that you've downloaded, all the links. They also do something that's very wonderful, and it's related to the graduate development program and the handout that I've also asked you to download. They do career counseling. Please go and visit them. Yanga does an excellent job at career counseling. They look at your, do you feel you're in the right career? Are you having any concerns? Are you a bit confused? You can have what's called a career assessment. So the document that you download as well, the graduate development program. Some companies have a graduate development program. It outlines how you need to apply, how possibly you're going to be shortlisted, how possibly you're going to be interviewed, and there may be multiple interviews and all the reference and background checks. So again, I've highlighted in that document in yellow your academic record, which is your academic transcript. It is your marks at the end of the year. It was quite interesting listening to one of the professors on the radio. They were talking about how universities, and it's also in the document, all links up nicely, how universities provide scholarships for students who either get 60%, 65%, 70%, 75% and above. So if you don't, for whatever reason, qualify for NSFAS, there are scholarships at the university. Again, you've got it in the document that says support services in the College of Law and Management Studies. It says student funding there. And there are 3 individuals for the different campuses. Mr. Gaza is for Westville, Mercy is for Westville, and the other two colleagues are based on the Howard College and the Maritzburg campus. Their details are there, their emails are there for scholarships. How do you get a scholarship at the university and other bursaries? They've got those details. They also have a website, so you can also check on the website as well. So again, linking to the graduate development handout you have, as well as the bursaries and scholarships. Companies want the best people. You know that companies only want to get the best and the brightest. So they want to see evidence of that through your academic record. So your academic record will show either 50% pass mark for a module, which is a subject, 80% pass mark for a module or a subject. It is up to you, as Professor Rhodes highlighted in the beginning. You need to decide how you're going to get there. Now, how are you going to get there? If you read this entire document in its entirety, you've got lecturers who provide consultation times. You have tutors who are available that you can chat to with regards to your content, and you have SI leaders that you can chat to with regard to content concerns. I'm going to conclude with the motivational message. You've downloaded the motivational message. Read that motivational message. Print it out, save it on your desktop, even print it out, put it on your kitchen door, your res door, and if you're a res student this year, put it up in the res door, put it up in the kitchen, put it up by your study table. Whenever you're feeling lazy, I'm hoping I'm going to see a couple of smiley faces coming up here. Whenever you're feeling lazy, look at that document, that motivational message. Hopefully it's going to inspire you to keep going. That's good. I should see a couple of smiley faces there. Look at that motivational message. It will and should inspire you. But as Professor Anna has said, as Professor Anna highlighted, you have a lot of mentors, first-year experience mentors, FYE mentors, to hold your hand. They are also a form of motivation and guidance. Please make full use of your FYE mentors that's going to be allocated to you. So that's the motivational message to keep you going. You all know that you can download and Google hundreds of motivational messages on Google, on any, what you call it, service provider. There's a lot of them out there. Even WhatsApp sends you lots of motivational messages, right? So I've spoken about the graduate development program at the handout. I've spoken about the motivational message handout and the support services at CLMS handout. I'm now going to conclude and want to say, we believe in you. I believe in you. This entire panel believes in you. The College of Law and Management Studies believes in you. The University of KwaZulu-Natal believes in you. But the most important person who needs to believe in themselves is you. You're either going to make it or break it or be successful this year. And not only for this year, second year and third year, because the workload increases in second year and third year. So I'm going to conclude and say thank you for choosing the University of KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you for choosing the College of Law and Management Studies. We warmly welcome you and wish you well for this year and your subsequent years at UKZN. Thanks, colleagues. I'll try to respond to questions at the end. I believe it's Dr. Joseph Jere, Anna, but you can direct me. Thank you so much, colleagues. Thank you so much, students. Thank you so much, parents. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome everybody, guys. Really nice to meet all of you. My name is Dr. Joseph Jere, and we should be meeting in the corridors of the university every now and then. So yeah, for me, this is one of my favorite times of the year. I enjoy it so much because this is when we get to meet the new potential students, the new guys who come in, you know, big brains, big ideas, big discoveries. So we're really waiting to hear what you guys have to offer the university. And I'm sure it'll be a good year. You know, it's always nice making new friends, and the UKZN family is growing. So yes, welcome to everybody. Now, my colleagues prior have spoken to a lot of very important information, guys. And if you are following me in the chats, I was saying something. I was saying, please listen to the presentations, because a lot of the questions that you're asking are being answered. And also, when you focus on the chats before you actually listen to the presentation, you find that you miss out on critical information. So I like that. I like that a lot of people were starting to listen to what's going on. So guys, thanks very much. Okay, so we start official business by giving homage to our team. Can I see the Kaizer Chiefs supporters in the house, please? Can you send an emoji? If you support Chiefs, can we see that you're in the house? Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely, you know, Chiefs is the way to go. You know, any other team that exists, we don't know those teams, you know. They're just there to fill up the logs for the rankings. Okay, so let's get to talk business. What do I mean, let's talk business? Let's talk about the practicalities. You guys have done something great. I like what my colleague, Ms. Naidu, just said before. It's a very warm welcome to all of you. And you guys are not here because of a favor. You are here because you did something great. You achieved great results, you know. Your matric results were good. You qualified to be here. So walk with your heads up high. I want to see you when you're walking in the corridor, you know, we can see that, yes, the new intelligent guys are in the house. So yes, let's give ourselves first a round of applause for all of us who, you know, we've managed to come here. Congratulations. Yes, yes, yes. Let's congratulate ourselves, guys. You know, passing that matric is not a small feat. Big things, big things. You guys have achieved big things, and we welcome you into the university. This is going to be your home for the next, you know, 3-4 years. And yeah, let's hope you enjoy the journey. So like I said earlier on, my presentation is going to be very, hopefully brief. I want us to talk about the practicalities. Now you've done a great thing. You've passed your matric, flying colors, bachelors. All of you guys are in here. So the question is, what is next? So the first step is you pass, you apply to come into the university, you accepted, you get an offer, you accept your offer. What do you do after you accept your offer? Then you go ahead and you register, okay? So now after you've registered, what is the next step? the next step that you're going to do is your first point of call is you're going to go to the RMS. What is RMS? RMS is our campus security, okay? So when you go to RMS, what are you going to do? You're going to go to RMS with your proof of registration that you are registered, okay? Because the university will not allow you to be on the campus unless you are a registered student. So if you're a registered student, then you're going to go to RMS, join the queue there at RMS. Hopefully it's not a very long queue. If it's long, you know, please be patient. There are a lot of students. But when you go to RMS, then what are you going to do? At RMS, that's when you're going to now create your student card. First question that is being asked, where do I get my student card from? You're going to get your student card from campus security officers, which is what we refer to as the RMS. And how do you, or what do you need when you're going to RMS? You need your proof that you're actually a registered student, otherwise you won't be allowed onto campus. So immediately you go on to RMS and they generate a card for you. What does that mean? Now we're going to speak to some of the things that you've been asking questions about. So what does that mean when you get your card? When you get your card, then what is the next step? The next step actually now it means that you're able to be identified as a university UKZN student. And when that happens, it means that automatically your email is going to be generated, okay? So I'll show you what your email actually looks like. After you register and you go onto RMS, your email is going to be generated. On top of that, we're going to also, UKZN is a very tech-savvy university, so we're using a lot of technology to hopefully improve the student experience so that you guys can enjoy yourselves. It can make your learning even easier, even better. So you're going to hear of a lot of terms that fly around in the university. And you know, when you're new, it can be very confusing. Sometimes it can be very scary. You're going to hear terms such as, you know, they talk about the LAN. You're going to hear terms such as Zoom. You're going to hear terms such as different terms such as ICS. You're going to hear terms such as your Learn. You're going to hear terms such as Moodle. What does all this mean? And hopefully this conversation will be able to give some clarity and also give you some peace, you know, as you come in. Because when you come in, you know, it's very confusing when people are talking about all of these things. So let me just share with you a presentation. Just a minute. Okay, great. So in essence, this conversation is welcoming you to the UKZN virtual world, where you're going to learn about some of these words like email, Moodle, student timetable, Zoom, MS Teams, and so on and so forth. If you've noticed, if you're following in the chats, I've been sending through a timetable. Now, that timetable that I sent through is the standard timetable that we use throughout the university. It doesn't matter what campus you're on. It doesn't matter what program you're in. That is the standard timetable that we're going to use. And I'll just give you a quick demonstration so that as you come in on the 10th, you are aware, you know where to go, because then there's questions, how do I know which lecture to go to, and so on and so forth. So I'll just touch on that a little bit briefly. So welcome to the UKZN virtual world. Now, first things first is you're going to hear terminologies such as your login password and your LAN password. What are these? First of all, you need to remember that your login password and your LAN password is the same thing. It's just different terms that are actually being used. This is the password that you log in, you use to log into the university systems. Then questions start coming. Where do I get this password? How do I know what my password is? And so on and so forth. So let's start answering some of these questions, okay? So when you come in as a new UKZN student, your username, every time you're asked for your username is your student number that you have right now that you're going to be allocated, okay? So that's what your username is. And what is the password? When you come in as a new UKZN student, your password is a default password, and that password is STU at day, month, year. So your password is going to start STU at the day that you were born. Maybe, for instance, if you were born on June 16th, which means the day is going to be 16. If you were born in June, your month is going to be 06. And then if you were born in 2003, the year obviously is going to be 2003. So that is your standard password. So for all of you guys, what is your username onto the system? Your username, rather, what is your username onto the system? Your username is going to be your student number. And what is the password onto the system? The password is going to be STU at the day that you were born, 2 numbers, the month that you were born, 2 numbers, and then the year that you were born, 4 numbers, okay? Please keep that in mind. So that speaks to your default password. Now remember, you need to follow the sequence that I gave you. You apply to come into the university, you accept your offer into the university, you register. And then after you register, the critical step is that you need to go to your RMS, the campus security, and activate a student card. When your student card is activated, then automatically your username is going to be your student number, your password is going to be STU at day, month, year, keeping in mind that the year is the 4 numbers and not cut into 2. So I hope I've answered now the second question that is passing around, or rather the third question is, I was being asked, the second question was, what is my username? The third question is, what is the password? So I've given you the passwords. Then there was also the question that was flying around is that when do you get your student card? You need to be registered first, and then you need to go to RMS. Remember, you can't access the system until your student card is active. So you need to start with RMS, otherwise you start facing some of these problems, okay? So let's move a little bit further and see what else. Now, when you are on the system, what you can do is you can go into the system and you're going to enter password in your web browser. You're going to enter password.ukzn.ac.za. Remember to leave out the www. What happens when this comes up? This will allow you to actually, when you do this, it will allow you to customize your password. It will allow you to create your own password. It will allow you to change the password from the STU at day, month, year to a password of your choosing. Now, this is where most of the times is a problem. Students go change passwords and then they forget the passwords and then they go back and they start trying to enter STU at day, month, year. Please remember, when you do this step of changing your password, you need to make sure that you write down your old password, okay? So when you go into passwords.ukzn.ac.za, it's going to allow you to actually change your password from the default STU at day, month, year into a password of your choosing. Obviously, it also has to be a strong password, so it has to have a number of characteristics which are going to be guided. So that's with regards your passwords, a brief with regards your passwords. We'll discuss this more as we go on the session on Thursday, but I just wanted you guys to have a brief understanding of how it works and the fact that you have an option to change your password. Now, when you change your password, you actually have to remember a number of things, okay? Your password has to meet a particular criteria, okay? What is this criteria? It must not contain your name or your surname, okay? It must have a minimum of 8 characters, 8 letters, okay? Must have a capital letter, a small letter, and a number. So for instance, when you look at this example, February 3310, we meet the criteria of the fact that it has got February 3310 is more than 8 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then it also contains a capital letter, which is the F, okay? Small letters, which is the E, B, R, U, A, R, Y. And it also contains numbers, the 3310. So sometimes when you try to change your password, you get very frustrated that it's not working. Why? Is because you're not meeting this criteria. So we also need to keep that in mind. What else are we going to deal with when we come into the university? So the first thing that we deal with is we need to know what our LAN login is. We need to know how to log into the system. Now we know what the LAN login is. The LAN login, the username is our student number, and the password is STU at day, month, year of your birth, okay? Then we move on to the emails. Now, this is very critical because Why do I say it's very critical? Is because this is the official communication by the university. I was reading a question within the chats. Someone was asking, can I phone my mentor, and so on and so forth. Now, the university has got a standard communication method, okay? What you don't want to do is to be phoning after hours and so on and so forth. So the official communication that we have is through our emails, okay? So make sure you send emails, make sure you check your emails, because sometimes you're going to miss opportunities, great opportunities. Why? Is because the university will communicate with you via email, but because you're not checking your email, you end up missing good opportunities. You also end up missing important notices for tests, for exams, and so on and so forth. So I'm trying to emphasize here, guys, that as you come in, make it a habit that every day you log onto your emails and check what emails that you have. In your emails, you're also going to have what is referred to as university notices. Very important. The university notices is the way the university speaks to the university community. So don't see UKZN university notice and ignore it and say, no, but I didn't see Sandile Mkhize, which is me. I didn't see my name there, so they're not talking to me. The conversation refers to the entire university community. So please look at your university notices, make it a habit every morning, log onto your emails and check what is there, okay? So they need to start coming with other questions. If Dr. Jerry is saying, check my emails, well, nobody has given me my email address. How do I know where to check? Okay. Now, the first place to go to is when you go into your UKZN, when you go onto the site, when you log in, your student email address, the way you're automatically allocated a username to the system, which is your student number, and also a default password, is the same way immediately you register and you go to RMS and your card is active, you're going to be allocated an email address. So what is my email address? Your email address is going to be your student number at stu.ukzn.ac.za. So immediately you register, immediately you go and activate your card at RMS, you're going to be allocated your email address. What is your email address? Your email address is going to be your student number at stu.ukzn.ac.za. So I've answered question number 4. What is my email address? I don't know my email address. Nobody gave me your email address. Well, immediately you activate your card, then you know that your email address is going to be your student number at stu.ukzn.ac.za, okay? And as you go in, then you're going to be prompted to enter your password. Remember, the password that you're going to use is going to be the same LAN login password that you actually created. Either it's going to be the STU at day, month, year, or the password that you have changed to customize it to yourself. So the password remains the same throughout. Let's move on to other systems, what we refer to as the Moodle platform. Now, what is this Moodle platform? The Moodle platform is basically where a lot of the teaching and learning happens. This is our learning management system. This is where we're going to share information with students. This is where some students are going to submit your assignments. This is the platform also where some students are going to write some of your tests, okay? So this is what we refer to as the Moodle platform. Now, the Moodle platform is called within UKZN, we call it Learn at UKZN. Every year, we've got different variations of this particular platform. So this year, it's going to be referred to as Learn 2025 at UKZN. Last year, it was Learn 2024, okay? So please make sure, in case you have got, you're trying to get onto this platform, make sure that you actually select the correct Learn. It's Learn 2025 at UKZN. So this is where you're going to find all of your resources. Now, a lot of lecturers will upload their learning materials there. We will find also on the Learn platform, you're going to find different interactive activities that you can do there, like quizzes and so on and so forth. So please be familiar with this Learn platform. Some students also face a situation where you're registered, you've activated your student card. And then you find that you cannot find, when you go on to your Learn 2025 for this year at UKZN, what happens is that, okay, I can see my ISTN module, I can see my my maths 134 module, I can see these other, but I can't see my economics module. Does it mean that I'm not registered for economics? No, it doesn't mean that. What it just means is that you have not been added onto this platform. So if you go on to Learn and you don't see yourself in a particular class, just send your lecturer an email. Don't panic, just send them an email and say, oh, sir, ma'am, I can't see myself, or I can't see this class. Could you please add me onto the class? But generally, all students are automatically put onto the class. Immediately a registered student, then all of you automatically are enrolled into the different classes. But should you have that problem, don't panic, just send your lecturer an email. So that's what we refer to as Learn. So when you hear somebody say Moodle, somebody say Learn, it's actually the same thing. We call it Learn here at UKZN. This is our UKZN customized Moodle platform, okay? So that is going to be, you're going to be working on Learn 2025, all right? So let's move on and look at some other systems that you're going to be dealing with. You're going to also be dealing with virtual classrooms, because at UKZN, we're following now a hybrid approach. So some of the lectures you're going to have will be in person, and you might have a couple of lectures here and there that are going to take place virtually. And where do you go to? How do you access this? You're going to have those classes taking place either on Zoom or taking place on Teams. So when your lecturer is talking about you having an online class, he or she is actually talking about using the Zoom platform or using the MS Teams platform. If you have a laptop and your laptop doesn't have Zoom or it doesn't have MS Teams, you can go to http://softwarerep.ukzn.ac.za, and you can actually download these two platforms on your own and install them on your machine. But students who are actually getting allocated NSFAS laptops, what is normally happening is that if you're allocated an NSFAS laptop, you will come with that software pre-installed. So just check out for that as you go along. So those are, in a nutshell, those are the different software platforms, the different platforms that you're going to be dealing with. Those are the different user names, how to actually find your username, what the password is. You will notice that across the board, your username and your password is going to remain the same. Even if I can show you, if you go on to softwarerep.ukzn.ac.za, what am I saying? I go further to say that your UKZN credentials will be actually prompted for you to authenticate, basically meaning that even on Software Rep, you'll be asked to put in your username and your password, and your username and your password that you're going to use throughout your stay in the university is going to be what we refer to as your LAN login or your login, your system login. So when you hear that, you know that you're using the same that you've created throughout. So quickly, I just wanted us to, before I actually say my thanks and leave you guys, nice people, I just wanted us to talk about, I think something that is quite crucial is the timetable. So let's look at the timetable in brief, and how do I actually access this timetable? What do I do? How do I create these timetables? Lectures are starting on Monday. Where do I go? Okay, so let me just stop this. Yep. Okay. So let me share another screen with you. Now, in this screen, we're going to be dealing with the timetable. What are the tools you need? Like I said, your lectures start on Monday. So yes, your lecture is actually starting on Monday on the 10th, not this Monday, the following Monday. So your lecture start on Monday. How do I know where to go? Where do I get the timetable from? Nobody has sent me these tools. So this is actually how you're going to find out where to go, venues, and so on and so forth. So in essence, nobody really sends you the timetable. If you're lucky, some disciplines will email part of the timetable. But in essence, as a first-year student, you're expected to create the timetable on your own. This is the reason why I think it's going to be on Thursday or tomorrow. I think Ms. Naidu can confirm when they're going to be discussing the handbook. It's very important for you to actually listen into that conversation, be there. The student handbook is what I refer to as our Bible here in the university. All the rules exist in the handbook. So please make sure you are familiar with the handbook because it's called a student handbook for a reason. All of the rules actually are placed there, okay? So in the handbook, you need to identify the program that you're in. Am I BCom Accounting? Am I BCom General? And then based on that, you have the list of the modules that you need to do. And then using those modules, you identify them and you come into the system and you're going to search and create your own timetable. So just a brief introduction of how this actually works. So you're going to go to, in your web browser, you're going to go to timetable.ukzn.ac.za. Just move this, see what's happening. Why do just make sure. Timetable.ukzn.ac.za. There we go. Okay. So when you get here, what you actually need, so this is the website where you're going to get all your information. But before that, you're going to need one other piece of information to help you, and that is your general timetable. Now, I've shared with you guys the UKZN timetable that we use in the university. And this timetable, do we all have access to it? Have we seen the timetable that I've shared in the chat? Okay, great. So if you check in the chat, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. I like the confirmation. Oh, great stuff. So if you look at the timetable, your UKZN timetable works like this, is that the day starts at 7:45 and it ends at 16:45. Over some time, we have students who end up developing a disease, and this disease does not allow students to wake up in time for a 7:45 lecture. Please, I'd like to ask you guys, do not develop this disease. 7:45, make sure you're in class, guys. You know, all of a sudden, I mean, you guys come from high school. I think high school class starts at 7:30 or something. But when you're at the university, you know, this disease comes in and all of a sudden you can't wake up in the morning because, you know, yo, sir, it's too early and so on and so forth. Please make sure that you stay away from that disease. And yeah, so let's move. Now, the day starts 7:45. It ends at 16:45, okay? Between this period, you've got 10 periods, okay? And this carries on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, up until Friday, right? Are we going to be learning throughout these periods? No, this is just the general university timetable, what it looks like, okay? So what am I going to do? What I'm trying to show you is, I think, let me share properly. What I want to share with you guys is I would rather share my screen. Okay, cool. Can you guys see the timetable on my screen? Can I get a thumbs up if you can see the timetable? Awesome, great stuff. Nice, I like that, I like that. Okay, so we have our timetable there, and then we move to our web browser. Can we see the web browser that says timetables and venues booking? Can we see that? Nice one. Okay, thanks. So if you can see that, when you type in your web browser, timetable, not timetables, timetable.ukzn.ac.za. It will bring you to the screen. Now, when you come here, it's very intuitive. You go to campus lecture timetables, campus lecture timetable. You're going to check which campus you belong to. So in our college, we are split between Pietermaritzburg and Westville. So for instance, if you are a Pietermaritzburg student, I always pick on Pietermaritzburg because I'm Pietermaritzburg myself. Yes. So, you know, support your local team. So I use the example for Pietermaritzburg. Those that are from Westville, if you are lost, please look for a policeman to ask for directions. Right. So we're going to pick on Pietermaritzburg. Oh, let me be nice. Let me be nice. Let me pick Westville. So if we look at Westville, we're going to say we are in our first semester. So we go under Westville, we click on semester 1. And we're going to come up with that, the general information, and then we scroll down. Now we are trying to find the college that we exist in. So if you check, are we studying audiology? Is this about audiology? No. Dentistry? No. Health sciences? No. But what we are looking for rather is our management studies. So we fall under management studies, College of Law and Management Studies. So we click on management studies and it brings us there. You see, it shows us Westville semester 1, 2025. And when we click on web timetable, and in the timetable finder, it's going to give us all of the modules that are in management studies. So now, this is why I was talking about the conversation around making sure you attend the handbook presentation. Why? Is because you need to know what you're looking for. You need to know the modules that you're doing. So in the handbook, we know that, can somebody tell me in the chat, what is one module that you're going to study this semester? Can I see in the chat? Accounting 101, yes. Accounting 101, what else are we studying? Stats 130, yes, good. What else are we studying? So let's go for Accounting 101 because all of us are doing Accounting 101, whether you are BCom General or you're BCom Accounting. So we're going to say one module that we're doing is Accounting 101. So I'm going to check there, Accounting 101. Now, when you were registering, there was this selection that you made, and this is a selection around streams or blocks, okay? And if you look here where it says Accounting 101, you've got Accounting 101 R1, Accounting 101 R2, Accounting 101 R3. I'm a first year student. I'm supposed to be doing Accounting 101 in first semester, and there are 3 Accounting 101s. Which one is the correct one? What's the answer here? If there are 3 Accounting 101s, which one is the correct Accounting 101 that we're supposed to be studying? R1, R2, or R3? Can we get an answer? Someone says R1, someone says R1. Whichever block you choose, R1. Okay, so the correct answer is that all of these 3 Accounting 101s are the correct accounting for our first semester accounting first year, whether you're BCom General or BCom Accounting. So why do we have them 3? Is because, remember, these are physical classes. We can only have so many students in one venue. Right now, we are having this presentation and you are 556. Imagine a venue that sits so many students. It would really be big. So what do we do? To make it easier to manage the venues, to also make it easier to manage the different timetables, we break down the same class into different groups. So these 3 accountings are the same accounting, whether you're in R1, R2, R3. If, let's say, on the 10th, okay, week of the 10th, you're going to be doing Accounting 101. Now, whether you are in R1, R2, R3, you're going to actually be learning the same thing. It's actually repeating the lecture. The first lecture will be the same. The second lecture will be the same. The third lecture will be the same for that week. What you should do is you choose depending on your timetable and the clashes. So sometimes if you create a timetable using Accounting 101 R1, and you find that it clashes with ISTN or it clashes with Econ or something like that, then you're going to check, is there another stream of accounting that I can attend? So you change from R1 to R2. So basically, these are the same things. The only thing is that it's classes that are actually repeating, smaller classes. They're made like this to allow you to avoid any clashes, for it to be sort of like user-friendly for you. So that's why you're asked to choose a block, okay? You are not restricted to that. You are essentially, you should remain within that block until you have a clash. That's when you can actually try and look for another block to avoid any clashes. So for this demonstration, let's pick Accounting 101 R1. When I click onto the PDF there, it's going to show me that on Monday, between 2:10 and 3:05, which is a double period, I'm going to have an accounting lecture, okay? On Tuesday, again, I'm also going to 12:20, I'm also going to have accounting. And on Friday, 11:25, I'm also going to have an accounting lecture. So for every 16 credit module, then you are expected to have 4 lectures in a week. Now, you see here, it's a double. Monday is a double, that's 2. Wednesday is a single, that's 3. Friday is a single, that is 4 lectures. What is this one in pink? This one in pink is your accounting tutorial. So every week, you should have, for all of your modules, you should have 4 lectures and 1 tutorial. 4 lectures and 1 tutorial. So what you need to do now is you go into your timetable, and in your timetable, you're now going to check. So you're going to check, So in your timetable, you're now going to check on Monday, 12:10 and 3:05. Monday, 2:10 and 3:05 here, we are having accounting. So you're going to write accounting. There, you're going to write accounting. Then when is the next one? The next one is on Tuesday, 12:20. So I go back to my timetable, Tuesday, 12:20, I have accounting here as well. Then I go back and I check. When is the next lecture? The next lecture is going to be on Friday, 11:25. So I go into my timetable, Friday, 11:25 is here. I've got accounting, okay? Then I go and say, okay, when is my tutorial? Is on Thursday. It's 8:40 a double. Thursday, 8:40 a double. So here, this is accounting tutorial. Tut. I say accounting. Tut. So I've made my timetable for the accounting module. Then I go again and I say, what is the next module? So I go back again, I go out. What is the next module? The next module is ISTN. So I come and I say, okay, ISTN. If you look ISTN, there's R1, R2, R3. If we're to pick this one, let's just do these 2 quickly. So ISTN as well. ISTN, the Monday, there's a practical. There's a long practical on Monday. Then on Tuesday is a lecture, 1 lecture. On Thursday, there's a double lecture. And on Friday, there's a lecture. You see what I meant? You have 4 lectures. And then on Friday, you have your tutorial as well at 11:45. So what do? I go back to my timetable. I say Tuesday, 12:20 is a lecture. Tuesday, 12:20 is a lecture. This is a good example. You see, I've got accounting here, but also I've got ISTN here. Here. What does that mean? You can't be in 2 places at the same time. So this means it's a clash. So when it clashes like this, what do? I go back to my timetable and I say R1 for ISTN maybe is not the best one for me. So I'll go to ISTN, pick on R2. So R2 ISTN, Monday at 1:15. Monday 1:15, I come, I check. Monday 1:15, okay, it's free. So here I've got ISTN. I go back again. What's the next lecture? The next lecture is on Wednesday. What time? 2:10. Wednesday, 210 here on Wednesday. It's free. So I've got ISTN. I think that was a double. ISTN, let me just make sure. I think it was a double. Wednesday, yes, it was a double, 210 and 305. So when's the next lecture again? Thursday, 7:45. Thursday, 7:45. I have ISTN here. I have ISTN there. Okay. So have I got my 4 lectures in? Yes. I've got a single on Monday. I've got a double on Wednesday, and I've got a single again on Thursday. 4 lectures. I'm good. Now I need to slot in the tutorial because all of them is 4 lectures tutorial. So on Friday, I've got a tutorial at 10:30. Friday, I've got a tutorial there at 10:30. So here I'll say ISTN TUT. I'm good. ISTN also has a practical session. So what is this practical session about? The practical session here, that's from 8:40 all the way until 11:25, is to give students an opportunity to sit in a LAN and try out the practical sort of assessments or the practical exercises that we create for students to help them better learn a particular content that we're trying to teach them, okay? So are you supposed to sit in this practical? Yes, in the essay, for the reason that if you sit in the practical, it's nice. You have somebody there to help you, the people we call demonstrators, okay? So there's always a demonstrator there who's in the LAN who actually helps you. But in case your timetable is too full and the practical is clashing somewhere, you don't necessarily need to sit in the practical, but you need to make sure that you do the practicals. So the advantage of fulfilling this is that you're going to have somebody there to actually help you, okay? So we can say Tuesday from 8:40 up until 11:25. Tuesday, 8:40 up until there. Then you can just say ISTN prac. ISTN prac. ISTN prac. And ISTN prac. Right. So this is what your timetable is going to look like now for our 2 modules that we've done. So remember, if you are in first year, you're supposed to have 160 credits, which means 80 credits per semester. 80 credits with these are 16 credit modules. 80 divided by 16. The answer is, guys, can we hear the answer? 80 divided by 16. Those that have done the real maths, not that other one for counting bananas and oranges and apples and so on and so forth. Yes, 80 divided by 16 is not 21. 80 divided by 16 is 5, meaning you should have 5 modules, okay? So we've made the timetable for 2 modules, which means you guys now need to go in and slot in the other 3 modules that are remaining. I hope this has given you some clear idea on how to actually set up your timetable. I've also shared with you guys a timetable there that you can use. Otherwise, you can also source the timetable. I think it's also available in the handbook. Yes. So having said that, guys, thank you very, very much for listening to me. And yeah, all the best. See you in the corridors of the university. If you have any questions, you can ask. And yeah, have a good one. Enjoy yourselves. You know, enjoy the university stay and make the best out of it. Congratulations again for, joining the university. Cheers, guys. And yeah, bye-bye.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Jerry, for such an informative session. We're going to open this session for Q&A, any questions, comments that students have. And let me also just say at this point, we have a few book vouchers, each worth 1,000 rands, and that we will be awarding, throughout the week. So at the end of today's session, we're going to ask a few questions. The first 3 people to get the answer correct for each of the 3 different questions will get a book voucher worth 1,000 rands. Did I say dollars at the beginning? 1,000 rands. worth 1,000 rands. So now I'm going to open just a few minutes for any questions and answers, anything burning that you want to ask us. And remember, we have a full program. Tomorrow, we're going to address the handbook. On Wednesday, it's going to be the curriculum advice with the schools. Thursday, we're going to focus on everything ICS, including issues of data, those who haven't received data, and so on. And then on Friday, we're going to focus on wellness. So some of the questions might be asked, and registration as well. We're covering registration tomorrow. So today, any questions on what has been covered today? Any questions that you want to ask on what has been covered today?
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. I think there's a few hands that we have that are up. I think I'll just unmute their mics and allow them to pose any questions that they might have. So if you do have any other questions, students, please do raise your hand. I will unmute you and you will ask your question and it shall be answered. Thank you. Siposihle, you are up. Please unmute your mic and ask your question.
Hi, I wanted to ask, how do you pick modules?
Okay.
I think that's for you, Dr. Jerry.
Okay, fine. So what's going to happen is, first of all, I'd like to ask you to make sure you attend the handbook presentation tomorrow, okay? And this is what I was talking about, that the handbook is your student rule book. It is what I even consider the student Bible, because everything that you do in the university will come from there. Throughout your stay in the university, all the rules that will apply to you will come from there. All of the modules that you need to do for your program is going to come or are listed in the handbook. So please make sure you familiarize yourself with the handbook, okay? So when you get the handbook, in the handbook, it has got the different degree structures. Okay, and in this case, for general purposes explanation, you have your BCom General and you have your BCom Accounting. Now, in the handbook, it gives you clearly the modules that you need to be doing when you are taking the BCom General stream or when you're taking the BCom Accounting stream. The BCom Accounting stream is much more clearer when you're moving into second year and third year because it's very fixed. So it tells you exactly what you do until you finish. The BCom General, when it comes to your second year, it becomes a little bit more open because you're expected to select your own 2 majors. But at first year, your modules are very clear. Whether you're BCom Accounting or you're BCom General, your modules are very clear and they're listed out in your handbook. So just make sure you familiarize yourself with the handbook and you'll see all the modules you should be doing. Like I said, you need to be doing 10 modules in your first year, 5 modules in the first semester, 5 modules in the second semester. When you pass all of these 10 modules, you are going to accumulate what is referred to as credit points, and your total credit points should be 160 credits. I hope it's clear.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Next student is Nompilo Mkhaliphi. You're up. Please unmute your mic and ask your question.
Hi.
Hi, Nompilo, we can hear you.
When creating the timetable for the Pietermaritzburg campus, I'm going to do Bachelor of Commerce, but then when selecting what can I call it? When selecting the faculties, I don't see the management, like the management one, like how the sir explained for the Westville campus. I only see the Honors School of Accounting, Economics, and Finance. Should I select that one?
Okay, let's just have a look together. Okay, just quickly. Hopefully, I don't take up too much time. I'd like to show you what I'm doing, so let me just share. Okay. Okay, cool. So I hope you can see my browser.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So we know that we are going to timetables. Okay. When we're in timetables, then here we say campus lecture timetable. And then under Pietermaritzburg, you're going to say semester 1 modules. Follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Click on semester 1 modules. We scroll down. And what were you saying? Oh, I see. It's, let me just see here. So here, semester 1, the one that excludes dietetics. So this is the one. Did you see how I did it, where I went?
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, the next question.
We have Ria. Ria, you are unmuted. Please unmute your mic to ask your question. Ria, are you with us?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
I wanted to ask if two mentors have contacted me, what do I do?
Okay, Ria, if that has happened, maybe send us an email and then we will address that because you should have one mentor. So it means maybe there might have been a double allocation there.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Ria. Up next we have Bungane Khatebe. You are unmuted. Please go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to ask if you could go and fetch your student card today. Hello.
Okay. Yes. If you are registered, you can.
Okay. Thank
So
you
if
very
you
much.
are registered and you've got your proof of registration, because that's what you need for you to, access the institution.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Bungane. I don't see more hands that are up here. Besides, okay, fine. We have Lerato. Lerato, please go ahead. Lerato, you can go ahead if you're with us.
Oh yes. Hi, ma'am. My question was, how do I receive a mentor? I haven't received one as yet.
Okay, I'm going to answer that one again. So for all those who haven't received mentors, some of you have been sending emails, and the FYE team is addressing that in the background. So if you haven't received a mentor, you will receive, because we have been allocating mentors based on the lists that we receive of registered students. So it depends on when we received the list. For instance, if you registered, say, on the Friday, we wouldn't have received the list as yet. If you registered before Friday, we were busy allocating the mentors over the weekend. So that could be some of the reasons why we haven't allocated a mentor. And if for some reason you probably registered much earlier than that, and you have not received a mentor, we are going to look into that. So please just send us an email and then we will address that. But you should all receive your mentors, before the beginning of the academic year. Beginning of lectures, I mean.
Okay,
all right,
ma'am.
I
Thank
see
you.
there are other questions on registration. Tomorrow, we're going to have a session on registration. So please do attend that and they will be able to answer some of the questions that you have on registration. Okay. I think we have come to the end of the Q&A. I don't see any other hands raised, and I do not see any other new questions. I see questions on sport. Your FYE mentors will assist you in how to sign up for sports, for those of you who are interested in signing up for sports. So they will take you through that process. The mentors with the FYE program, they will take you through that process of how to sign up for sport. Okay, so now we're going to move into our final activity. the exciting activity. Like I said, we've got book vouchers, and these will be awarding these every day until Friday. So every day there will be a few questions asked, and a few of you will receive book vouchers. Please note that, if you receive a book voucher today, please do not answer the questions tomorrow, so that we can also allocate to different students. So today we're going to have 3 questions from Prof. Bruce Rhodes, Dr. Jere, and Miss Naidu. So the first ones to answer the question correctly will get the book voucher. I'll start with Prof. Bruce Rhodes. Prof, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Anna. Okay, students, the way it's going to work is you have to type your answer in the chat. Okay, so by doing that, we know who is first, second, third, etc. All right. So you've got to be quick typers. All right. Okay, are you ready? Okay, my question is, there is a code which you get when you complete the FYE program. What is that code?
All right, we have
There we go.
the
Good.
winner. The first one is Fatima. Fatima Nakuda.
That's right.
Fatima, can you please send me an email with your student number? I'm going to type my email address here.
Well done for those that got it right, and extra well done with the quick fingers. Thank you.
Fatima, you have received your 1,000 Rand worth book voucher. We move on to Miss Naidu.
Okay, my question is, when you are all sitting in your lectures every day, you have to be engaged in an activity. This activity that you're busy engaging in whilst listening to your lecturers will reinforce your learning. What is that activity that you must engage in and must do whilst listening to your lecturers? The correct answer is there, taking notes. So it's taking notes. That should be the correct answer, Anna. Thank you.
Okay. So the first one is Timika Naidu. Timika also sent me an email with your student number. I see I made a mistake on the first one. There is Lara. Lara was the first one. So Lara, so we're going to award 2 for the first one. Fatima and Lara, you will get your 1,000 rands book vouchers. Timika, you will get the book voucher for the second question. Please send me your student number. We move on to Dr. Jere for the third one.
Okay, thank you very much. My question is as follows. What is your default LAN login password? That was fast.
Dr. Jere, who got it right first?
Oh, I need to check. There was somebody with lightning fingers here. It should have been, is it Miss or Miss Badu? Diajal Badu. Prof, did you pick that one?
I'm trying to. Can she also send me an email with her? I'm going to type my email address again. So we have our 4 winners today. Can they send me an email with their student numbers so that we can, contact them on how to on how to collect their vouchers. All right, so we're going to end here for today. So we do have our 4 winners. I have noted them down. And tomorrow we will continue again. We'll have more book vouchers to award. Okay, so thank you, students, for making time to attend this orientation. Please do attend again tomorrow. We will focus on, tomorrow's session is going to be very important because they are, like Dr. Jerry has said, the student handbook is your Bible. You need to know all the rules in there. There are rules that if you do not know and you do certain things, they will work against you. There are also rules that you need to know which will protect you. So please make sure you do attend tomorrow as we take you through the student handbook. All right. If there are no more questions, I think we have come to the end. Thank you to our colleagues, our Dean of Teaching and Learning, Prof. Bruce Rhodes, for making time in his busy schedule to just come and address you and welcome you. Our panelists, Ms. Naidu, Dr. Jere, Ms. Wongeka, for also being there to answer questions, present. And we also want to thank our, public relations colleagues who have enabled us to use this platform. So thank you, everyone. Have a lovely day and see you again tomorrow at 10 in the morning.
Thank you, everybody.